Yo guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. I guess you could brand this under a Doctor Who video, but also under Doctor Who YouTubers and all of that kind of stuff, because today I'm going to be covering a little video which I saw recently by a YouTuber, or should I say a YouTuber technically, named Tharries. Now, he is a pretty popular Doctor Who creator on the whole of YouTube, really, and one who I have been watching now for a good couple of years, along with other Doctor Who creators and YouTubers. Essentially, he made a video responding to somebody who made sort of like a hate video towards the Interstellar Song Contest, which was an episode from the new season of Doctor Who. And I just wanted to sort of voice my opinions and theories and sort of respond to this in a way as somebody who is a little bit conflicted on the new Disney Plus era of Doctor Who. There's some bits that I genuinely have enjoyed, but equally there are some bits that I've really not enjoyed. As a YouTuber myself and somebody who does cover Doctor Who on the channel, I thought now would be a pretty good time, with the finale of Season 2 coming out very soon, to make a video on this. But just before we get into this video, please hit that subscribe button if you like Doctor Who content or Doctor Who just in general. This channel is definitely the channel for you, so hit that subscribe button right now. We're trying to get to 100k subscribers on this YouTube channel. It's been a lifelong goal of mine to get to that goal. So yeah, hit subscribe right now, and also smash a like on this video too, because it just helps the video get into the algorithms and all of that YouTube-y stuff. So yeah, smash like and subscribe, and let's get into this video right now. So yeah, I watched this video and I thought it was just going to be some sort of regular Tharries video, and I ended up doing a bit of a deep reflection on my own Doctor Who content and how I create my Doctor Who reviews and all of that kind of stuff, because there are some pretty harsh Doctor Who reviews that I have done on this new season, which I've been very critical about the show, and I mean rightfully so, because, well, as a fan of the show, I think the best thing you can do is critique something, because, you know, if you want the show to do the best that it can possibly do, then I think critiquing is completely fine. Where I personally draw the line is just blatant, outright hatred towards the show and or its actual creators. Now, looking back over my reviews, I've not crossed this specific line. I have made fun of a couple of things and poked fun at some of the plot lines, but I've never, like, outright hate bombed an episode, because ultimately at the end of the day I'm a huge Doctor Who fan and I love the show, and if anything, any critiques that I do give the show is within the best, is it basically in good faith, that hopefully somebody may potentially see it, or it encourages other people to speak out about the episode and share their thoughts, and in the long run that gets back to the creator. Yeah, I like to think that I'm pretty fair when it comes to rating and reviewing Doctor Who episodes, because I just like to try and keep it as honest to how I found the episode as possible. So if there are any good things, I will always praise the good bits of the episode, but equally I will always criticise the bad bits or the more flawed pieces of the episode. Now, I've been a Doctor Who fan for a very long time, and I think if you take a little look through my channel, that is quite blatantly obvious. That my first couple of videos on this channel were just Doctor Who videos, and this was originally a Doctor Who channel making Doctor Who stop motion figure adventures, and they weren't the best, I'm not gonna lie. They were actually quite terrible. But yeah, I've bought so much Doctor Who merchandise in my entire life. Like, from Doctor Who figures to Doctor Who sonic screwdrivers to prop replicas and properly splashing out on prop replicas. Like, that is... It's quite a lot, I'm not gonna lie. And I went to Doctor Who exhibitions more times than I can possibly keep count of. Like, the main one was the Doctor Who Experience, and I used to go literally twice a year every single year, because I don't live massively far from Cardiff. I'm like a couple of hours away, so it was possible to do the journey, but yeah, it definitely was like a big sort of thing. So I managed to get there twice a year, which is kind of cool, because it was like my birthday's in July, so literally I got there July, and then I managed to get there December for Christmas as well. It's like every single year my birthday and Christmas presents were just like Doctor Who figures and stuff like that, and then a trip to the Doctor Who Experience as well. Very, very cool. And yeah, I just remember that from like when it was a thing. And yeah, once again, if you love something so much, you will still, you know, criticize it. And I mean, that goes with everything. If you're truly a fan of something, you can criticize it so that it can be the best that it can possibly be. And I've always wanted Doctor Who to be the best. And this is one thing that I do really, really like about some of my favourite Doctor Who creators, like Tharries and the Confused Adipose. These two creators, personally, I like them. I think they bring a lot to the table in terms of Doctor Who content. But one thing that I do really like about them is they're not afraid to criticise episodes which aren't as good. And I think that's definitely something that is really, really good in a world of people who will just hype up something for the sake of basically hopping on a trend and liking something because somebody else likes it, instead of putting out your actual opinion. But naturally, because they do say some good things about Doctor Who, I know that Tharries has been essentially branded as like being paid off by the BBC, or, you know, people who make Doctor Who. And yeah, I don't really like this very much. It's kind of obvious that these guys are just fans of the show. It's pretty blatantly obvious, but to be fair, they must be doing well if people think that they're getting paid by the BBC to say that good things about the show. But still, personally, it is just a load of bollocks, and at the end of the day, I really don't think that the BBC is paying YouTubers with like 20 to 30,000 subscribers to make positive Doctor Who videos. Now, in this video, I've done a little bit of reflection and like on my own content and just like my full stance on the show, and personally, I'm a little bit divided at the moment, especially with season 2. I have a couple of episodes in season 2 which I just don't really like. I felt like they just felt really, really flat for me, and I know there's some episodes that people really, really like, and them two episodes are the Robot Revolution and Lucky Day. Personally, I just think that they went a little bit over the top with their sort of political side of Doctor Who. Yeah, I just think that they overdid it a little bit on these episodes, and I think with other episodes, this kind of stuff was just baked into the plotline a lot better. But yeah, bar these two episodes, every other episode in season 2, like, looks I'm a little bit on. I like it, but it's not like my favourite from the season. Then we have The Well, which it's just straight up a banger. I'm not gonna lie, it's a great episode. We then had The Story in the Engine, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The Interstellar Song Contest, which, yeah, genuinely one of my it probably was my favourite episode at the time of release from Ncuti Gatwa. And then Wish World, which, again, another really, really decent episode that I really, really enjoyed. And yeah, my main sort of issue with them two episodes, Lucky Day and the Robot Revolution, is I feel that they do sort of lean into current events, and we have that happening online 24/7 anyway. And I don't know, just personally, when I watch Doctor Who, I just kind of want to turn off from like all of the stuff going on in the world around me and just have something to enjoy. And funny enough, the episodes that I actually really enjoyed in this season tend to be them episodes that do genuinely do it a lot better. They have much stronger writing and plot points, and I just thoroughly enjoyed the episodes a lot more because they actually baked these issues a little bit better into the actual plot line rather than creating the plot line around an issue. Which, if you're a good storyteller and a good writer, you will be able to just work real life issues into a narrative and an actual plot line without basing the entire narrative around that issue. Another thing as well is that it's completely okay if anybody watching this video just disagrees with me, and if anybody watching this video loves the Robot Revolution and Lucky Day. It's pretty much just based on opinion, and this is one thing that I do really see a lot more now on the online YouTuber space. Going back, say like 2010, 2011, when you had the Matt Smith era, and especially when that sort of transcended into the online space quite a bit, it was completely fine not to enjoy a couple of the episodes of this season. Everybody had least favourite episodes from every series, and nobody really had any issues with it. You weren't branded as a Doctor Who hater if you didn't like a certain episode. But I feel like now people are very quick to brand somebody as a Doctor Who hater just simply for not liking an episode as much as another episode. Like, personally, I think there are definitely Doctor Who haters out there who will just completely flat out hate an entire series and not really back it up with any good points. But what I personally do is I like to get the points together as to why I dislike specific episodes and why I really like and enjoy other episodes, and then just put that out there, because at the end of the day, it is just my opinion. You can agree with that, you can disagree with that, and either is completely fine. Another thing that I do want to also clarify is that I have absolutely no issues with anybody working on the show and anybody who's like associated with actually creating Doctor Who. If anything, I praise them because it takes a hell of a lot of work to create a TV show like Doctor Who, and even if the episodes are not liked by certain fans, or even if it is an episode that doesn't hit very well, something that I cannot deny is that there's so much work that goes into the episodes. Even something, say, the Robot Revolution. Personally, I wasn't a big fan of the episode, but I can really appreciate all of the work that went into it. And for that, you can only praise the people who do work on this show and put tireless hours into creating this entertainment for everybody. And yes, I do have my thoughts about Russell T Davies and his style of writing right now as opposed to his style of writing back in 2005. Yes, I do think that he does take some of his own ideas and beliefs and puts them into the show a little bit too much maybe, but I don't hate Russell T Davies. That's not something that I would ever promote or would like to promote. Yes, I do like to pick little bits of the show and maybe make a little bit of fun, poke a little bit of fun here and there, but mainly it is just for like comedic effects for videos, a title or a thumbnail. It's not actual genuine hatred, and there are people out there that just do hate Russell T Davies because for whatever reason they want to hate Russell T Davies. And yeah, I'm not one of them people. I actually really admire Russell T Davies as a writer because he has written some amazing stuff in the past, and hey, some good stuff even in, like the 60th anniversary specials. I enjoyed a lot of them specials, and there are select episodes in this season which I do thoroughly enjoy. Yeah, I definitely don't agree with like stepping over that line to where you can criticize somebody's work, and I think that is completely fine, but I think when you cross the line and just attack the creators of this work for absolutely no good reason, it does get a little bit blurred and a little bit much, I think. And yes, I know where Russell stands politically. I know he is very, very majority left. Even somebody like me, who like personally, I sit quite in the middle. I can take things from both sides and understand things from both sides and sort of make up my own sort of mind on specific things and apply that to my actual life. And yes, it is a little bit too much in some episodes, but in other episodes I think it's done pretty well. And for example, something like Wish World or the Interstellar Song Contest or The Story in the Engine, all great examples of episodes that handle issues the right way. A prime example of this is Lux. You know, their approach to a topic such as racism was really, really good. I really enjoyed Lux and how they actually approached that subject matter in the episode. And I think, if anything, it was actually much better done in Lux than it was in a story like Dot and Bubble. Now, I said I poked fun, and yes, in my reviews I did call Belinda an insufferable cow. To be quite frankly, honestly, that is how she came off in the Robot Revolution to me. She didn't seem very appealing as a companion. She just seemed very moody all the time, and yeah, it wasn't like the best introduction to a new companion that I have seen in Doctor Who. Now, yes, I do like the idea that she does stand up to the Doctor a little bit more, and she does sort of argue with the Doctor and doesn't just go along with everything that he says. But I also think that they went a little bit too far in that direction, to the point where she just seems very, very moody, and sometimes it's for absolutely no reason whatsoever. But that is one thing that I think they've gotten better at, sort of developing her character throughout this season, because I'm coming to the end of the season now, and I find myself liking Belinda's character a lot more. Another thing that I would like to clarify as well is this is nothing against Verada Sethu either. Like, this is purely against how they wrote Belinda and not like the actual actress. In fact, I really, really like Verada Sethu's character in Andor. She absolutely did an amazing job at playing that character in Andor, so it shows that she is a very, very good actress. It just didn't gel with me in the first episode, or at least the first couple of episodes of this season. Like, for example, in the Robot Revolution, when she was saying that, oh, like, all she's basically complaining that somebody else, all they did was, like, complain and tut and huff, and that's literally what she ended up doing throughout the entire episode. Like, it kind of contradicted itself. So yeah, I don't hate Doctor Who, but I also don't think it is where it needs to be right now. I'm talking about getting that feeling back into Doctor Who that it used to be, when you would sit down and be excited to watch a new episode of Doctor Who. And I must admit, that feeling is a little bit more prominent as the series has gone on. So I'm starting to see little hints here and there of it, but I still think there is a little bit more to go to get it to that point where Doctor Who quite honestly deserves to be. This show is over 60 years old, so quite frankly, it deserves to be breaking records because it's been on for such a long time, and some of the episodes, I would even argue that some of the best episodes of television ever lie within Doctor Who. And this isn't any sort of hate video on Tharries and what he does on the channel. I just kind of wanted to respond to his video which he created about another creator who was quite evidently crossing that line of hating on the people who were creating the show and not as such criticising the show itself. I would actually love to have a chat with Tharries about the current state of Doctor Who and sort of get his thoughts on what Doctor Who could do to maybe just improve and get back to that level where Doctor Who was renownedly loved by a lot of people. It was very widely loved, and it was kind of growing out into America and trying to spread a little bit more worldwide. So yeah, Tharries, if you are watching this video by some chance, then yeah, drop a comment down below or just contact me on my Instagram page. It's official_Dan_B on Instagram. Follow as well. But yeah, I would love to have a proper discussion about Disney era Doctor Who, because I don't really think there's many people who have just sat down as Doctor Who fans and had a bit of a discussion about it. Everyone's very, very quick to post what they think online and call out people and all of this kind of stuff and shit on people just for simply either liking or disliking the show. But not many people have sat down and actually just talked about the series. Tharries did kind of change my perspective on Disney Plus era Doctor Who. And I use change very, very lightly because I was very, very indifferent about this new era of Doctor Who. I wasn't too sure, and it was taking me a very, very long time to start really liking Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor and to start seeing him as the Doctor. But I've stuck with the series and I've kept watching, and I must admit, in the last couple of episodes, specifically like the Interstellar Song Contest and Wish World, I've really started to see Ncuti Gatwa as an incarnation of the Doctor, and I've really started to gel a lot more with his Doctor. And nevertheless, it's nice to see other people who are simply fans of the show just putting their thoughts and views out there. So yeah, that is pretty much the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's a little bit of a different one to usual, but yeah, more Doctor Who content is coming very, very soon though, so hit that subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Oh yeah, also one last thing I completely forgot to say. It completely slipped my mind, but speaking of Wish World, Tharries was actually in the episode. Congratulations, Tharries, on your cameo in Doctor Who. The guy is literally living the Doctor Who fan's dream right now. But yeah, congratulations, and I'm probably going to end this video right now. Bye. Peace. Subscribe.